So this is a massive cliff, and I'm gonna use my drone army to make it to the other side. I've wanted to do this for a while, especially after seeing Big Hero 6, where Microbots are able to work together to form shapes and basically do anything you can think of. When I started this project almost 3 years ago, I had no idea just how difficult, expensive, and mentally challenging it would be. Let me explain. The plan was to build a swarm of robots that build themselves into a structure to help me get places I couldn't otherwise, up a wall, and eventually over a massive ravine. Seemed challenging, but doable. With all the incredible robots out there today, and Shopify sponsoring us, all we need to do is get a bunch of them and make them work together. And all of our problems came from underestimating this one detail of scale.
Controlling one robot is easy, but 100? 1,000? Way harder.
You need like 1,000 times the communication. And as you know from working with others, teamwork is tricky. But it's super important and something we're gonna have to master for this project. I started by building a few robot cars all controlled by one computer. Right off the bat though, started glitching out. Doing some research, I found this robot swarm that works together by having each one follow the edge of the group until it reaches its correct place. This means each robot needs very little direction and capability, but as a whole, it can create some amazing shapes. It just takes a long time. I also found this other swarm that uses a flywheel and magnets to move and even hop around in 3D, kind of like a Lego set that builds itself. Really cool concept that I hope gets developed, because it's the closest thing I've found to real-life Microbots, except for nature, which has us totally beat. So many animals have evolved to master teamwork in groups. Birds fly in these mesmerizing flocks for protection against predators and for efficiency in these V formations. Fish do the same thing underwater, safety in numbers. But ants are perhaps the best team workers out there, probably the closest thing to Microbots in real life. They even build crazy structures by linking themselves together to get places they couldn't on their own. And that's exactly what I want to do. And I know the perfect spot to do it. A few years back, I was on a mountain biking trip with some buddies, and we had to cut the ride short because of this impassable ravine. Just massive cliffs on either side with raging waters down below. We could see the other side, but with no bridge, it was impossible to get across, and we had to turn back in defeat. Years later, if we could make it to the other side with our robot bridge, that would be so epic. So headed back to check it out.
Oh, no.
Yeah, yeah.
We're in a life or death situation and we need to get across this. How do we do it? Drone bridge. Learning from nature, I think our best bet is to make our robots fly like birds and connect like ants. So ordered a couple drones to start. Then engineer Cam and I built a controller to use my hand movements as inputs. Now when I move one hand up and down, the drones go up and down. And when I tilt and turn the other, the drones go forward, backward, and side to side. Now we could jump right into a fancy control theory program where each drone knows where it is and all work efficiently together to move as one. Or 100 drones, one controller, same inputs to everything. Good thing is with 100 drones, you've got a much better chance of at least some of them doing what you want.
My bad. Ta-da!
This also reminds me of Mysterio from Spider-Man when he controls all his light drones, which was an opportunity too good to pass up.
You shot your last web, Spider-Man.
This guy won't stop droning on over here. Oh.
Any last words?
You gotta take that dumb fishbowl off your head, man.
Dude, I wish I could, man. Right after this, it's go time.
Oh, God!
That was only round one. You're shaking.
I'm shaking. You're the one with boots on.
Oh yeah. You're on your last breath, your last web. Cool, but not super functional. I mean, they got beat by our web shooters, which are pretty cool. They shoot, stick, and reel back up automatically. Perfect for fighting enemies or even day-to-day tasks. And you can even get them on our online shop we made powered by Shopify. They're a commerce platform that makes it super easy to start a business, sell things online, in person, and across social media. They've got a drag and drop store editor so you can make amazing looking websites lickety-split, plus helpful analytics and resources to help you get started and grow super fast. Would have been way harder for us to list a product like these web shooters without Shopify. And there's also new Shopify Magic AI tools, which we'll get to later. But if we want any shot of crossing the massive ravine and not falling hundreds of feet, we need smarter drones that are better team workers like the birds and ants. We built one from scratch this time. Our new drones need to fly, dock, and be strong enough to walk on. If they can do that, we're in business. We started with a simple linking mechanism for the drones to attach to each other. Then we gave our drones vision. Now they should recognize other drones and dock all on their own.
Pretty confident it's
Person
a person
or dog.
It could also be a dog.
Yeah.
Does it see? Oh, will it actually get a real dog?
Yes. Okay.
Went to cat first.
Oh, went to cat.
It's not perfect.
Can't tell if that's a chair or a boat.
We also tested the flight capability to see how well it can fly and stay in one place.
I think it's going up.
It's like doing better than it was.
Yeah, I guess.
This was also not perfect.
I don't know how it's gonna be when we put a giant bridge on it.
Still, we settled on a simple cone design to try and see if we can even manually dock. This actually kind of worked, but we still gotta solve part 3, because this drone is not strong enough to walk on. Let's fix that with some more carbon fiber. Now we've got ourselves a flying bridge section.
But can they still dock?
No, it cannot. Now it's too heavy. We really gotta find that sweet spot of strength and agility. So we stripped it all back to a smaller X frame that should still hold us and is half as heavy. Back to the docking test. We're making progress. But it still needs to be better because the vision gets confused a lot. So we switched it to track an infrared light, which is much easier for the camera to see, and also dock from top down to make it easier and more consistent. That means redesigning the connection mechanism to these V-shaped latches to give us some wiggle room and guide the drone down to lock in place. So all the software needs to do is get us in the ballpark.
Target lock. Yeah. Just gotta do that like 10 more times.
But it's not all smooth sailing. There's already so many things to think about even with just one drone. Whenever we change something like just docking off the ground, everything else breaks.
It's okay, you gotta break some props to make a drone bridge.
There's also random bugs.
What happened there?
Yeah, progress is slow. But we kept at it. Eventually, we got it to dock completely on its own. Mostly. Now it flies, docks, and is pretty strong. But is it strong enough to hold us? Let's find out. We added a footplate on top and gave it a shot.
Oh my god, I'm so scared. Doesn't look the most stable. Oh my!
It looks like it's bending a lot.
Yeah, it feels like it's bending a lot.
That was a great noise. Like, dude.
Oh god! Oh.
It holds us, but barely. Any extra bouncing or tension force will probably snap the bridge. All I can think about is crossing the ravine or something like that snap happening. I'm so nervous. We did add some reinforcements and it seems to hold us better now. But for some reason, it won't fly anymore. See what I mean about one small change breaking everything? It's all such a delicate balance. Eventually though, we got it stabilized again so it can hold us, fly, and dock. It's time to multiply. Surprisingly, it's all working. Now let's try our first air dock, where the second drone docks to the first, both flying and supporting their own weight. And all of this is done automatically with our vision sensors. The controllers only need to be used for manual override.
Oh god. Oh god. That's full throttle.
This is not good. The second drone is making way too much wind and blowing around the first. Should have thought of that in hindsight. It's a big problem that we were not expecting. Our entire plan won't work now, and we're gonna need yet another redesign. So to try and salvage this project, we attached a bottom brace to keep the drones rigid in the wind. The plus side is the drones don't have to stay on, wasting battery, while waiting for the other drones to finish the bridge. The downside is a ton of torque on the attachment point.
Can't see this problem getting better with more drones.
But we might be able to fix that by having the drone stay on about half power or something. Eventually, after some trial and error, we got this new design to work. Mostly. So let's try this all for real, testing 3 drones. If this works, we should be ready to build the rest of the bridge.
I guess we'll try with the other 2.
play ball today. You think you have it, and then you add one more thing, and then a million other things break.
Right.
That was about as big of a failure as you can get. As usual, we started debugging by testing each variable one part at a time to try and figure out what's going wrong. But nothing seemed consistent. Sometimes it works, then something completely random would happen, or a new problem would come up. We tried adding these spring-loaded grabbers to stop it from slipping off the connection bar. But again, that only worked sometimes. At this point, we spent about 4 months on this project and still seems like we're spinning our wheels. The drones are slowly breaking with each crash, and it feels like we're not even close to walking on a drone bridge. With engineering, it's so easy to get stuck in trying to optimize a bad idea. And it can be really hard to pull back and look at everything objectively. Maybe there's a better way. Maybe it's time to revisit our original goal with what we've learned. So even though it's really hard to scrap 4 months of work, that's what we did. We chose our drones because they can fly decently and lift a good amount of weight. But after thinking about it, it seems flying is much more important. And no other consumer drone flies better than DJI drones.
And they're very smart. With just a bit of work, we were able to build a lightweight frame and have the drones assemble into useful shapes, just like the Microbots. I present to you a staircase. That's a staircase of sorts right there.
Well, what shape should we make next, huh?
But for a strong bridge, we need a different design.
Luckily, ropes like paracord and Kevlar are super strong and lightweight. But even if we make like a rope bridge, it won't be stable at all, and we might as well just be walking on a tightrope. But with a bit more thinking, it might be possible to make a rope bridge with 2 layers. 2 connection points coming from the drones connecting, but also having additional pop-down footsteps. This should let us walk across the lower section while having 2 higher sections of rope to hold onto as we cross, all while weighing hardly anything.
You gotta just stay over the top of it. Ooh, that one didn't tie that one right. It's okay though, we're recovering.
Clearly I need some practice, but the concept's there. Now we just need a latch system.
We thought about using our web shooters to connect, because they already stick and could wind up. Again, grab yourself one, link below. But a better solution, rodeo. You see, when you take a rope and tie a loose knot, you get a lasso loop of sorts. If you can hook this onto something, it'll tighten down and boom, connected. So to make it easier, we can use some mini magnets. Now when we get the rope loops close enough, the magnets grab on, and with just a little pull, the rope tightens to attach. And if we do this like 10 times, we got ourselves a rope bridge.
Already a million times easier than docking our last version. Let's try 2. This is further than we've ever got before. We also started looking into controlling multiple drones at once. Let's try 3 drones. Psych, make it 4. I think we're ready for a full bridge test.
$10,000 later, we got 10 drones, which should let us cross some serious distance. But let's test it first before we do it for real. I think people want to see this part. This is the depression part.
I don't know, people kind of want to see this.
I know, they do kind of weirdly want to see this. late night sad defeated us.
It's so late.
I know. It did not go smoothly. This is supposed to be our winning design. We've got our work cut out for us. So we started testing new latch designs, added some foam for the camera to lock onto.
Back up. Oh, your phone's gone.
Scrap that, tried a mousetrap design so it couldn't slip off.
Oh, it's holding your weight.
But it still slipped off. Tried going back to the cone design, like how aircrafts refuel in midair. That still doesn't work for us. But we eventually started honing in on a combination of everything. Basically 2 arrows with springs that lock into a loop. While it was much easier to dock, it couldn't quite tension down to make the bridge. Oh no! Eventually we locked onto a very reliable method, where the arrows go in and are able to pull out and lock. Then the paracord loops are able to tighten down on the knot at the end of the other drone, creating the bridge. Also, these drones have AI object tracking, so we just select the back of the drone in front on the controller, and it automatically points to where we want to dock, like how our last drones docked themselves. Hopefully, all we gotta do is launch the drones, tell them where to go, and they should do the rest. Kind of like the AI tools in Shopify Magic. It instantly generates product descriptions for you, removes backgrounds from the product pictures, and lets you add new backgrounds too. Like we can just type in wherever we want to put it, on a shop table, in the city, even at the beach. It also helps you write and send emails and answers frequently asked questions all for you. Yeah, it's like magic, basically an AI sidekick. So check out Shopify with all its amazing new magic tools and get yourself a free trial with the link below. Alright, our drones are good, but they need to be great. The docking has to work perfectly several times in a row for multiple drones, all while in mid-air.
Putting out good vibes here. We will dock 10 drones. We will form the bridge. Alright, we were just kidding that time.
The motors smell bad. Really? Yeah.
Anything out of the ordinary, even if it's super unlikely, will probably happen when docking this many times.
I don't know what to say about that. Honestly, the best one yet, but we took a little bit of damage.
Loops might randomly catch in weird places. Drones might start wobbling and acting weird. Or just will nosedive altogether. Right when we're about to finish the bridge. Like, why? With this many variables to think about, the project becomes soul-crushingly hard. And with each new crash, the drones get damaged even more, making them more likely to act weird in future tests. Not to mention, we have to do this outside, with even more variables like wind and trees. And as it turns out, wind definitely matters.
That was not our fault. Well, it was, but it was not.
But we kept on optimizing the design, changing the shape, reducing the weight, and adding propeller guides so they don't, you know. And finally, we were able to dock all 10 drones to form the bridge.
Yeah, that's all 10. I wish that was a wrap. Please, that would be amazing if that was a wrap.
We even built a drone ladder outside to get up a wall. Kind of practical, like this could maybe be used to escape or fight fires or something.
Yes!
So after years in the making, it's back to the cliff to finally get to the other side on a bridge built by a swarm of drones.
This?
Where are we going?
I think we're going there, right?
No joke here, we couldn't even find another way to the other side to set up cameras.
Actually need a drone bridge for this.
Yes.
Everywhere we tried was super sketchy.
You're gonna go through these 2 trees right in front of you. See these 2 trees? It gets real sticky.
It sucks, but it's a perfect spot for the drone bridge. It literally took an entire day for us to even rig up a safety line. We were all exhausted. Then to top it off, our guide had a medical emergency while on the safety line.
I'm losing all grip.
What if Ryan fits up to spend the night on that thing?
You guys send your rope to pull me in? I have no grip whatsoever. My hand is curling over.
That needs a rope, so we need to toss him a rope.
Defeated yet again by this cliff, we had to head back. Safety's our first priority here. Do not try this, guys, if that wasn't clear. We got even more professional guys to help spot us with safety lines, so the next day, another 2-hour drive and hike back to the cliff to try again. The rapids were looking calmer, which was good, but the wind was starting to pick up. Nevertheless, we got everything set up, and after years of building, it was time to fly for real. Hopefully, our countless tests and improvements would be able to handle the wind, the sun blinding the cameras, and the trees in the way. It was much harder than inside, but we kept going. Things were finally going our way. We might just actually do this.
Let's go, boys!
I didn't do anything. What? Didn't work.
We don't fully know what happened there, but yeah, how's the damage over there?
They all crashed to us. Fits did get cut a little bit. We're patching it up and we're taking them all in.
Copy that.
Well, we did.
We were doing so well. Half of it was built, but unfortunately we weren't going fast enough and the first drone died.
If they all seem good and there's any shot, maybe try it again, but you know. know, if not, it is what it is.
We tried to replace the batteries and get them back in the air, but the drones were too damaged from the fall.
Oh no! Watch out. Crashed.
You crashed it?
Yeah.
It's tough. There's so many moving parts. It's insane.
We've done worse.
Have we?
Yeah.
We haven't come back from worse.
Well, you know.
Down in the fourth quarter, but we need a Hail Mary. And we're playing basketball. I want to get across this, dude.
Yeah.
I've been staring at this gap for so long.
We're left with a mess of broken drones and broken spirits. At this point, we spent close to $50,000 on this project so far, all the smashed drones and hired people, and we're still not across the gap. To pull this off, we gotta work together as seamlessly as the ants and birds. Every drone and every person doing their job perfectly. We looked at every mistake, reworked our plan to be as efficient as possible, and made yet another batch of drones. Then we headed back for one more shot. I was stressed. If this doesn't work, I'm genuinely out of ideas. But this time felt different. All of our failures taught us something, and every setback has made us better. Things were going smoothly. As each drone docked, it felt like our efforts, determinations, and belief in this idea were coming to life. And by some just stroke of magic, we got all the drones connected and the bridge fully built. But it's not over yet. I still have to cross without falling. And keep in mind, we've never actually tested this bridge before. Only this, but never with the linking knots from the drones, all of which could be weak points and snap the bridge.
Oh my God. This is gonna take a little bit of figuring out. This is crazy.
My full weight is now on the bridge, and if this snaps, I'll fall a ways before the safety line kicks in.
All right, we are full slack right now. I am on the bridge fully.
You're almost there!
I don't think I'm almost there, dude. Yeah, oh! Not the drone! I wish I was more flexible for this. Oh my God. How freaking high we are. Slow and steady, slow and steady. Oh, it's starting to get a little bit more uphill from here. All right, how far am I, you think? Halfway there, baby. Halfway across Shopify Bridge. We're halfway there. Woo! Living on a prayer. Oh, no! You think you can just fly that one back up? We didn't really test this part, did we? Fully weighted on said drone bridge. Look how thin this wire is. Oh, yo, stop. It's got my hair, bro. Let it go, let it go. Oh, back on it. Oh, got it. All right, well, I'm about to enter the cliff. I'm approaching the jagged rocks. Only way out of here is up, huh? Final couple.
Further back from the rapids head.
That is a sheer cliff face right there. One more step. Oh, this is a weird one. This is a tough one. Really should have stretched more for this. Get me on this thing.
Get up.
Yeah. I'm on the side. Yeah! Yes. Freaking did it, man.
Nice.
How'd that look?
That was crazy.
Oh.
We finally did it. I like to think Hero and Mysterio would be proud. Did we take this idea too far? Maybe. Could we have built this bridge a million easier ways? Probably. But we did it in style. Through teamwork and perseverance, even the craziest ideas can become reality.
Let's see if it flies.
Dang it, dude.